I'm just doing a short series of videos on lock making for antique clocks. The thing is with these, a lot of the time they're missing, they're not available commercially. Even things like that, a cut cupboard lock, that's a new one, a modern one. You can see the bolts are far too big, so they don't look right, and they are a lot deeper as well. So really you need to make them fit the gap that's there. A lot of bracket clocks and even long cases, the doors or the space for the lock is quite narrow, so you have to either start hacking loads of this brass away and trying to get them in, or packing the backs up, and they don't look right. So I've found the best way is to actually make one fit the clock in question. So there's different types. So this is off a bracket clock, that's off a long case hood, little button catches, and dial clock and bracket clock catches for brass bezels. I'm going to make a small cut cupboard lock for the back door of a bracket clock. You did see them on the bottoms of dial clocks like this one. This is a case I made years ago, and I put this old lock on it. So I'm going to copy this one and fit it to the bracket clock. I've set up the two pieces of brass in the fire bricks. There's a nail underneath the bottom one just to tip it up at an angle, and this fire brick here puts pressure on the top one so that it keeps it in place. I also need to make sure it's still square, and the reason it's at an angle is so that when I silver solder it, the solder flows into the joint rather than spreading around all over the bottom plate. So now it's been silver soldered, the little step on the back needs filing down, and it just needs cleaning up a little bit. And I'm just going to cut this end off here, because that's where the bolt comes out, so that's the short bit. I'll cut it with a fret saw rather than a hacksaw in the vise, because it tends to distort them a little bit, and I just find it's a bit easier with a fret saw. So that's that now cleaned up, cut to size and filed up neatly, ready for the holes for the bolt and the little retainer. So I'll have to make another one of those, another bolt and another cover plate, but they can be in steel, so that's alright, it'll be exactly the same. What I'm doing now is making this little loop. So I've marked out a piece of steel with layout blue and marked the shape out, and I've just started fretting it out. So I still need to cut that little section out there for the bolt to sit in. So these are just like tenons, and you've got little mortises, so it's a bit like woodwork. They go through there, obviously on the brass one. So I've still got to cut the holes out for that, and the hole for the bolt. So I've just roughed out the hole. That'll be cleaned up with the needle files until the new bolt fits through the hole. So the way it works is, when you turn the key, it lifts that back end up and pushes it forward, and it clicks down. So to position it, put the bolt in and line it up so that it's straight, and mark out where the mortise is for this plate. And I'll just fret that out and then clean it up with a needle file if I can get one in there. So you just see that that actually does work. So this will need to be bent round, and another slot cut there for the other little tenon to fit in. And I need to file a bit off the back of that because it's overhanging the actual plate. And eventually this will be just riveted over and filed down. The next thing to make is the cover plate. So I've put some ink on the back because the slots will be in the same place, and I'll just mark where they are, and then I'll fret them out the same as I did this one, and it should fit into those. Now I need to make a pin to fit in that hole for the key to sit on, so I'll just use an old nail and cut the head off, and I've already put one in the chuck to start with, and I'll just have to turn it down so it fits in the hole. Right, that should go on nice and tight. Now I just need to make the shaft a little smaller so the key fits over it. That's fine. I've got the pin and the plate ready. I've left the rest of the nail on there so I've got something to grip so I don't spoil the part that I need. I've just got a little punch to make sure it's down on the shoulder. Just rivet that over. You can feel that's nice and tight now. And I just need to saw that off. clean that up with a file. I've just cut out the keyhole on the cover plate. Needs a bit filing up so the key goes in, and then I'll fold the end over. So that's the cover plate finished. So that's all the bits made. You can see the key lifts the back up and it pushes it over and drops it back down again. And the little spring holds it in place. That needs clipping down. I haven't soft soldered it in yet, so I'll do that next. I'll wait until the other one's finished. And the cover plate just fits on. The purpose for the cover plate is more to, if you've got the wards in place, it stops you lifting the key over the wards if you're going to pick the lock. But it does keeps the dust down.